Hello and welcome to Everyday Tarot, your daily dive into the divine wisdom of the tarot. I'm your host, Camille A. Saunders, healer, tarot enthusiast, and your local witch next door. And today I'm talking about tarot and intuition. Whether you're a seasoned tarot reader or just starting to explore, this podcast offers daily insights, intuitive messages, and practical advice drawn from the cards. Each episode is designed to help you connect with your inner wisdom, find clarity in your decisions, and tap into the energy of the universe. Tune in every day, Monday through Friday, for fresh perspectives and empowering guidance from the tarot as interpreted by me. Thanks so much for those of you who were able to attend my virtual tarot card creation event last week. If you were signed up but were unable to make it to the live event, you should have the replay of the event recording, the PDF I made with my step-by-step process, and an offer to join my upcoming series called Tarot for Transformation. So check your emails. If you want to deep dive the tarot with me with weekly calls and journaling, I'm going to be offering a 12-week Tarot for Transformation live course this summer. We'll focus on one card each week, learning about it, reflecting on it, and journaling and embodying it. If you're interested, the link is in the show notes, so sign up here for more information. Also, if you weren't able to attend my virtual tarot card creation event, but you're like, Camille, hello, I want the recording too. I'm working on pulling it together with the PDF so that I can make it available for sale. So let me know. I am going to be working on that, so I'll have the link for you shortly. If you missed it and you're like, please, I need to know how to make my own tarot cards, you don't live local to me, so you can't come to my Let's Talk Tarot meetup group events or anything, then go ahead and check that out, and I'll create an offer there, probably for hopefully fairly cheap, so you can grab that and you can have you'll have the recording of the whole event with me, so you can see a lot of the cards I made. You can maybe hear some of the other folks' questions and stuff that were in the event with me, and then you'll have the full PDF of my step-by-step process, so you can do that on your own, all right? If you love the show, the best way to support it is by listening daily, leaving a review, and subscribing or following in your favorite podcast app. I did just update my Patreon benefits to be bigger and better than ever. I will be hosting live episodes every new moon to do a new moon collective tarot reading. If you join the Lovers of the podcast level on the Patreon, you'll get access to an exclusive Discord to chat with me live during the stream, and I'll pull a card for each one of my patrons in addition to the New Moon Collective spread. If you want an individual card pulled for you once a month live on the podcast, join the Everyday Tarot Patreon family at the Lovers level. And if you'd like to support the podcast even further, you can get a one-time individual 5-card reading in addition to all the other benefits if you join the Witch Bitch level on the Patreon. If you're local to me in the greater Puget Sound area, check out my Let's Talk Tarot meetup group for the latest event postings. I'm going to have 2 events coming up soon. I'm going to do another in-person tarot card creation event. I will be at Tacoma Pride on July 12th, also doing tarot card creation. So if you're going to be there, stop by. And then I'm working on doing a women's circle at Thresholds Collective in South Tacoma for every full moon. So the first full moon coming up shortly is on July 10th. So I'm hopefully today booking the reservation there. So I will work on getting the links up for that, but you can check out the meetup group for the event postings. If you're interested in my free PDF with the 2025 5-card tarot spread I created just for you at the beginning of this year, you can get that by joining my newsletter list. My weekly newsletter always has the most up-to-date information on my upcoming events, presentations, musings, and info and photos of my day-to-day life. And if you don't already know, I'm a sex and relationships therapist seeing clients virtually all over Washington state. I love working with queer, poly, and witchy clients, so if you'd like to work with a therapist that doesn't judge you, is witchy just like you, and helps you learn how to deal with anxiety, chronic pain, illness, communication issues, self-advocacy, and sex, head to my website and book a free consultation now to start your journey. You can find the links for any of these offers in the show notes or on my website, CamilleASaunders.com/everydaytarot, in addition to the images of the cards I pull on each episode. All right, so welcome to season 10, where I'm talking all about tarot and witchcraft. If you haven't listened to my other seasons yet, you can check those out. In season 1, I talked tarot basics. In seasons 2 and 3, I went through the major arcana and the 4 suits. In season 4, I talked tarot and pop culture. In season 5, I went through 13 common tarot spreads. And in season 6, 7, 8, and 9, I went through all of the suit of wands, pentacles, swords, and cups. So, as you may have gathered, I have talked about every single card in a tarot deck. All 78 at this point are in their own individual episodes. So if you ever want to find one of those specifically, you pull a card and you're like, what does this mean? The tarot deck guidebook isn't helpful. I hate this card. Like, why do I keep pulling it? Check out, you can go to my website. So again, CamilleSaunders.com/everydaytarot, and you can use the search bar at the top to search for a specific card. All of the titles of the episodes should be for that specific card, so it should be fairly easy. So you can search, 2 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 4 of Swords, and find it there, along with all the major arcana cards as well. All right, and so now we're into season 10, where I'm talking all about tarot and witchcraft, and today we're talking about tarot and intuition. So I don't necessarily have like a specific, guidelines for today for intuition. Right, we have a lot of tarot decks have tarot deck guidebooks with them, so that can be a helpful tool. There's lots of books that love to try to teach you how to memorize all of the cards. There's courses, there's all these different ways, but personally what I like is, more of a tarot and intuition style. So often that is, pulling a card from a deck, looking at the imagery, trying to see what are the vibes, like what sort of presence do I get from the card, what's in the card, what do I see, what does it make me think of, and then maybe checking the tarot deck guidebook or some references, Google or books, to sort of see what their take is on it. But I totally believe that you don't actually need to know anything about the cards to glean things from the tarot. And I think tarot and intuition, at least for me, that was the way that I started to figure out like, oh, actually I like this and I like doing tarot. I tried to memorize, I tried to do other things, do a course, get a tarot journal where I could learn the cards, the kitchen table tarot book, which I'm sure is lovely. Barely ever cracked it, didn't work for me. I've since given it away. So yeah, I'm really a fan of tarot and intuition, at least as a way of reading tarot cards. And honestly, for me, I think that practicing using my intuition with tarot and even with other witchy things in general, since we are talking about tarot and witchcraft this season, has been helpful in just like recognizing and honing my intuition in general. I would honestly say that my first experiences with like following my intuition were going in used bookstores or libraries and kind of seeing what books stood out to me. I've always been a book girly reader since I was a kid, and sort of allowing myself to just like go with the flow and see what sections are interesting to me, or books, or sometimes judge a book by its cover and pick it up or be drawn to certain things. That's definitely what I practice when I go in any sort of like witchy stores, and often bookstores, is just like, where do I feel pulled to? Is there a certain topic? Is there a book that I've like heard about or seen 3 to 5 times in the last week, and now I like find it again, a copy of it in a library or in a used bookstore that I feel like is calling to me? All of that to me is intuition and talking about tarot and intuition. So I did want to get a little bit into a book that I do have that I haven't really explored. It's supposed to be a really good book. It's by Mary Kay Greer, and it's called 21 Ways to Read a Tarot Card. And honestly, I just realized, because I started at the beginning yesterday to look through it for this episode, that of course she picked 21 because that's like how many major arcana cards there are. I guess there's, yeah, that's correct. So that sort of made me laugh, that like, oh yeah, of course, like a tarot person picks like the magical number of the major arcana of tarot. But just to give you an idea, this book is basically the concept for it is that you start at the beginning with the book, you pull a single card, and then you go through all 21 methods to learn how to read that card, or learn like different ways of looking at it. So some of them are like name, description, emotion, story, number, mode, suit, element, metaphor, meanings, range, modification, symbols. So, right, these are a lot of different ways that you can use information, dialogues, drawing, embodiment, to kind of learn about these cards. So I thought that was super interesting, and part of the reason why I got this book, it was recommended by other tarot folks, by Drea Bloom, who I'm getting one of their books. I just ordered it today, also called Tarot for Transformation, because I'm going to use that book in my upcoming course, hopefully, to, yeah, sort of go through some of their Tarot for Transformation parts of the book for different major arcana cards, and that's kind of what we'll be working off of in that 12-week course that I'm dreaming up right now, and that I'm sort of working on. Yeah, so let's see here. So I guess I'll start by, I'm gonna take a deck, we're gonna pull a card or two or three, and I'm gonna walk through some of these like more intuitive ways of reading tarot, and we're just gonna kind of see how that goes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull a card from the Desert Illuminations Tarot deck by Lindsay D. Williams. I'm gonna give it a quick shuffle. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so using Mary K. Greer's steps from the beginning of her book, the first one is about name. So first we're gonna just say the name of the card that I've chosen aloud, and then we're gonna ask the question, who am I? And notice our response to the card as we look at it and name it, and sort of think about how it feels like in our body. So the card I pulled is the 10 of Jugs, or traditionally the 10 of Cups, reversed in this deck. When I look at it upright, what do I think? It kind of gives me mixed emotions, I would say. So it sort of depicts three people, like a band at a microphone, looking like they're on a stage, and looking like they're, you know, singing together, sort of in harmony. One of them has their eyes closed, two of them have like their lips pursed, like they're singing, or, you know, they were about to. So it's a very like in motion card. The people are like very close to each other. They're like laying, like the middle person, the other people are like laying on them. That aspect, I'm like, it makes me a little uncomfortable. I'm quite warm right now, and so I'm thinking about like wearing long sleeves and having someone like put their head on me. I'm like, no thank you. So those are some of the things that I noticed. So again, right, you take your tarot deck, you shuffle, you pick a card, you think about, yeah, what's your physical response in your body to the card? Did you hold your breath? Did you inhale as if to take in the card? Did you move back or forward? Oh, I definitely moved back. Was there any tenseness or relaxation? What was your very first sensory impression? A flush, a chill, increased heartbeat, surprise, disappointment, satisfaction, or nostalgia. So yeah, think about that as you do this card. And again, this is just ways that we're honing sort of our intuition, starting to work on figuring out how do we actually use our intuition with tarot. So also when cards are reversed, like sometimes that gives me a weird vibe, or like, oh no, just because reversals sort of tend to have a like slightly negative connotation, not necessarily, again, depending on the card, but just because they are reversed, again, it's sort of this like, oh, something's different or weird or challenging. In this case, I actually really like the visual of the reversal for this one, because there is this like rainbow image at the top of the card when it's upright, and they're wearing like rainbow colors, but when it's upside down, I really just focus on like the colors and the people's faces, and I kind of like that vibe. Whereas when I turn it upright, I start to get really drawn into, again, like the physicality of the people. And so upside down, yeah, I'm gonna sort of say like, it's making me think about collaboration and working together. Like the rainbow makes me think of kind of like harmony, again, literally, right, if they're singing, but also just like feeling united or sort of having like diversity. Again, the people are all wearing different colors and they sort of represent the whole rainbow of colors that's on the card. And so I'm definitely thinking about that as I look at it. The instruments are like black on the card and they're outlined in teal, which is like the background of the card is teal. And my eye is very drawn to those. So I'm drawn to like the instruments. And yeah, there's also like interesting symmetry on this card, which does like please my eye. So yeah, I'm thinking about all of those things as I look at the card. You know, if I look in the deck guidebook, if you feel like, okay, sure, I want to use my intuition, but then I got to know if I'm correct, right? I can look at it and it says, you know, a joyful rainbow, people are in celebration, music, friendship, collaboration, you're content and happy, your heart is full, support system is strong, the ultimate fulfillment, blissful, nourishing relationships, and keeping those who are in harmony with your life and share your values with others as you continue to make beautiful music together in the world. So I would say, right, like my intuition led me correctly with this card, right? Again, it's a reversal, so we're sort of perhaps in reverse of what this says, which is that maybe, right, we're trying to be in harmony, but we're having a hard time, or we're like working or opening ourselves up to collaboration or that kind of thing, but it feels challenging for us, right? Or something feels hard or resistant to it. Yeah, so I'll stop there with kind of that card, and I'm going to pull yeah, probably just one more card to see kind of where our intuition leads us with that, but we're going to kind of keep it simple today, right? There's lots of ways to explore this, and again, tarot can be a very fun way to sort of practice this aspect. I think I'm going to use the Therapist Who Tarot cards because I really like the art on these. It is more subtle sometimes, and so I think that might be helpful as we think about intuition. All right. Okay. So let me pull Mary K. Greer's book again and look at another way to look at the cards, right? We have description. Let me see if there's an activity in here. Let's go with emotion, actually. So look at the card, right? We're going to think about what emotions seem to come up as we look at it. Yeah, list the emotional states that appear in the first person description of the card. So as you look at the card, right, you're thinking about what emotions do I think those people are having. So on this card, there's the colors are sort of orangey and black, and then a little bit of brown, again, sort of when they mix together. It is the Nine of Swords. The word at the bottom is despair, so it's hard for me to not see those things as it's in here. What else? I mean, the swords themselves give me a like needles vibe. Like they're very skinny with like a hilt at the top that's a circle, and it really looks almost more like a sewing needle. But it doesn't give me good vibes. Like it sort of like makes me think of like feeling lost in a crowd. There's like a lot of people depicted in the cards, but they're distant, they're far away. So it sort of gives me almost this like lonely feeling when I look at it. I also think about that again, the people sort of like blur together, where again, I just sort of think about like feeling like when you feel a sort of like despair or things where it's like, oh, maybe I'm not special, or just like I don't stand out, no one sees me, no one sees my needs, or kind of is like seen through to the part of me that is very unique in myself. Yeah, interestingly, so the questions on the back are about who or what gives you energy, what do you know to be true in your heart, and what must you commit to no matter what. But yeah, sort of the emotions I get of this card are that like despair, lonely, maybe like heartbroken or distant, that come up here. And then let's pull, so those are going to be sort of our explorations into intuition today. And then I'm going to pull from a different deck for our final card draw. So what do we need to learn, right, about intuition? What do we need to keep in mind? Let's see here. And I pulled the 8 of Cups. And I'm pulling from the Anima Mundi tarot deck. And in here, again, I'm going to use my intuition for this one. So we see like a seagull flying over cups. It's a very symmetrical card, but it's also a very gray, dark card. So it doesn't necessarily give me like happy-go-lucky vibes. It gives me like things are kind of hard right now vibes. Like things aren't working, or yeah, maybe like leaving things behind, because again, we see this bird kind of flying. We see the moon, which often in tarot is talking about subconscious or shadow, or sort of like intuition again, sort of like those aspects. So let's see, in the book it says, you may have realized your current situation isn't working and you're deciding to leave it behind. It may feel like a loss, but take this process moving on as an opportunity for self-discovery. All right, so there you have it. So links for the tarot decks I talk about will always be in the show notes and on my website if you want to look at them or purchase them. And yeah, keep honing your intuition with tarot. It's super fun to get to practice that. And thanks for joining me today on Everyday Tarot. Just as a reminder, the podcast comes out daily, Monday through Friday for all of 2025. You can email me, Emmy@CamilleASaunders.com with thoughts, questions, and more. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.